Back to another Copy AI product demo. My name is Andrew Lane, and today I'm joined by Carly Wright. How are you doing, Carly?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. I'm excited to chat with you today. We're talking TikTok and Instagram content creation. I think a lot of people out there probably have a love-hate relationship with creating content on these platforms.
Yes.
A lot of potential, but it can also become a major time consumer, and a lot of writer's block issues come up there. So we're going to talk through that today. I'm excited to hear from you on what's working for you. You've had a lot of results on there. So we'll dive into that today. Real quick here, the agenda, we're going to go through and learn from Carly how she's grown her following on TikTok. She's got some great tips to share with us on how to look at TikTok in a different way, in a really business focused way. Is that right, Carly?
Yeah, totally.
So we're trying to monetize it, but also really engage with your audience and not just be a used car salesman on there.
Exactly.
And then we're going to go into a live Copy AI demo and talk about how you can use artificial intelligence to create content for TikTok and Instagram. And so you've been using Copy AI, and I'm really curious to see what tools are working best for you and kind of your process and workflow.
Yeah.
And then we're going to pick each other's brains a little bit to see how we can optimize things. And of course, if you are watching live, please drop a comment below. Let us know where you're watching from. And if you have any questions, you can pop them down in the comments. I'll do my best throughout the training today to answer those questions as they come up. If not, we'll get to them at the end. Good morning. Good morning. What's J5? I'm writing article number 80 with Copy AI as we speak. Dang. Have you tried like long form writing, Carly?
No, not yet.
That's pretty wild. That's next level. Yeah, that's amazing. 80 articles from J5. So J5, we might have to
Wow.
bring you on sometime to see how you're doing this.
Yeah.
Good morning, Wes. All right. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining us live. And if you're watching the replay, no worries. You're going to get a lot of value today because we've got the expert in the house. Carly, can you tell us a little bit of background on your story with TikTok and how it's become a key part of your marketing?
Yeah. So I am Carly Wright at That Vibrant Mama on TikTok and also on Instagram. I am a mental health content creator. That's how I position myself on TikTok and on Instagram. And I also provide postpartum mental health coaches for new moms who are struggling with perinatal mood and anxiety disorders. And I didn't start using TikTok until I would say January of this year. I was in a place where I was totally experiencing content block, right? Like Instagram felt really stale. Facebook just was not my thing. And I was at that point in business, which, like, if you're an entrepreneur, you may have ever you may have found this space where you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna pack it in. I'm over it. I'm just like, this is it. This nothing is working right now. I'm packing it in. I like everything felt like a chore. And I was in a mastermind at the time, and they were having a growth contest to see who could grow the most on TikTok. And I'm very competition focused. So I was like, all right, I'm going to put everything I have into TikTok. It seems like fun. I had downloaded it, but never really created content on it. So I started January with really wanting to build a community and also win. And found by the end of the month that not only had I grown from 900 followers on there, just and I started off the month with about 900 followers and ended with around, I want to say it was around 37,000. I was having so much more fun in my business. My email list was growing. I like the ideas for content were flowing constantly. It was just so much fun. And that was prompting me to have more ideas for longer form posts that I could have on Instagram and resources and courses that I could start to, excuse me, I have a little bit of a cold, excuse me, it was giving me more ideas for courses that I could create resources, master classes. And so things really, it breathed life into my business in a time when I was ready to pack it up and go. And so since then, it's been such a fun adventure to create content in a really fun, lighthearted way, while, for me, talking about some really serious topics. So it gets to showcase you really get to showcase your personality in new and different ways. And from that, it's not just monetizing and having people come into your programs, work with you. It's also, I had podcast interview opportunities like this, coming to speak and do live presentations on how to grow it for TikTok, branded content where brands are reaching out to actually pay you for videos. And so it's a really fun way. Like, the growth on there is like nothing else I've seen in other social media platforms. I've had an online business for about 4 years now. I've used Facebook and I've used Instagram, and TikTok grew my business in ways that took me years to do on other social media platforms. And so I will share this platform till I'm blue in the face because I love it so much.
Thanks for sharing that. That's an amazing
Yeah.
story, and I think that should inspire a lot of us who are kind of on the fence about TikTok to maybe look at it in a different way. And if those of you who are either already using TikTok or interested in trying to leverage it more, and really any other social platform, I think you've got some great tips here on what's worked for you. So why don't we walk through a couple tips, and then we'll dive into CopyAI to see how we can bring this stuff to life.
Yeah, sounds good. So this is from, a presentation that I did a while ago. So why TikTok? And this is like, I'll go over this very briefly. There's over 800 million users worldwide, and you have the potential to go viral daily. Like, it's very easy to go viral on TikTok. And it's not just going viral. That's not just the point. You don't want your videos to spread just to spread, unless you solely just want to be like an influencer or a content creator. But it's knowing what to do with that viral content and really having a plan. The adult user base is growing by 5.1 times. And these numbers might even be a little bit outdated because this was from a presentation I did earlier in the year. I think a lot of people's misconception with TikTok is that, it's just for these like dance trends. It's for like younger kids. I'm 36, about to be 37. And I've had a ton. There's a really great adult community on there as well, and a really great entrepreneurial community. And people are averaging about 52 minutes a day on TikTok. If you've ever played around on it, it's very easy to get sucked in for that amount of time. And I would even say that it's probably longer. And because the algorithm on there is so specific, it helps you really reach your people quickly. So the combination of a super specific algorithm with the way in which you talk to your community, it's like that's where the growth is. We can go to the next slide. So I'll just quickly give my account as an example. Like I mentioned, I started off in January with 938 followers, and that really was from putting out videos sporadically. I think I downloaded it in August, and I was using it just to interact and see how other people were using it, putting full effort in. By February, I had 49,000. April, it was 62. I'm up to 68 now because I've kind of slowed down and I haven't been on it as much. But I started off with this little experiment that I did, this growth challenge. My Facebook group was at 232 people. And then in January, by April, it was, but it actually ended up ending at 1.5. So 1,500 people. One post ignited 26 one-on-one applications to work with me when I was opening up one-on-one spots. So you get offers for paid branding content, and more importantly, like having fun in business. It's really fun. It can feel frustrating if you're not I'm not a tech savvy person. And so at first there's a little bit of a learning curve when you're trying to match your sounds to the videos and edit. You can keep things super simple. you know, there's content creators that have editing teams that that's what they do for a living. I mean, you can have really simple content that goes viral and grows. If you look at my account, none of my videos are really all that complicated. It's having fun. So it's just about, there's a little bit of a learning curve, like I said, just playing around with the app. It's much different. But it's fun. So the way I see TikTok for my business, and I think why I've had so much success with it, is because I view TikTok not only as a community, this is a community that I'm building, but it's also a really efficient funnel. So having your marketing is with a purpose. You're not just creating videos to copy the trends to go viral just to go viral. You can utilize the trends that you see and make it your own for the niche that you're working in. Or if you're a product-based business, like, people really love to see the behind the scenes look of, you know, I see accounts that are like jewelry-based businesses, baking, t-shirt, clothing companies. People really love to see like what goes into a business creating their product as well. There's one woman whose account, I mean, her account jumped up huge because she was doing free Canva tips on there, and she created like then a workshop, and I mean, I saved her account because it's just also really helpful for me from a business standpoint. But so marketing with a purpose. Until you have 1,000 followers, you can't have a link in your bio that like leads people into other things, but you can really encourage engagement, and you could grow by 1,000 followers in a day. It's, you know, it's really easy to get that functionality. So you want to make sure that if you don't have that capacity yet, each video has a call to action with a specific purpose. So you're sending people to your Instagram because maybe that's where you're doing more live videos, you're doing more content, or sending people to your website. So until you have a link, you could put in your comment section of the video and pin that comment. Hey, if you love content like this, follow me on Instagram with your handle. You can link your Instagram account to your TikTok as well. Make these things really easy for people. If you're new to TikTok, I will say this: create like a handful of videos. You could save them in drafts and then blast them all out on the first day. Like, do a couple of videos on the first day, because what TikTok does is when it sees that it's a new account, they're going to push your videos out quicker, because it's like essentially they're testing your account to see if people are going to engage in your content. So even if you haven't posted anything in a long time, or you have no videos, have like 3 to 4 videos kind of waiting in your drafts to blast out. And that's how you're gonna,
That's you, J5, got that comment.
Yeah.
He's got an account but hasn't really tried it yet. I'm
Yeah,
kind of in the same boat. I'm on there just to kind of like, you know, see what's going on, and see, I'm looking too at like who's creating content in my space, more of like
yeah.
professional content or educational content. So just kind of observing for now, but sounds like it's a good time to jump in.
It is a great time to jump in. It's like I said, the growth on there is unreal.
Crazy. And that's really cool that
Yeah.
you can compare between like Instagram versus, and even Facebook. Like, you've been putting content up for a while and trying to grow an audience, and just by putting some videos on TikTok, you're bringing people off of that platform even into your Facebook group. So you've like, I mean, 5x that group. It sounds like something like that. You've also moved them into consults with you, or wanting to work with you. You've also moved them onto your email list, and that's just through having that link handy on your bio section.
Yep.
I love it. That's really good insights.
Yeah.
So let's go quickly through some of these points, and then we'll try to take some of these concepts around content creation and apply them to CopyAI and see what we can come up with today.
Yeah, so these next 2 slides are really like the meat and potatoes of this training. And so the reason TikTok, I think, is so successful for especially like service-based entrepreneurs, or, I mean, I see it as micro coaching. You have the ability to really shrink down. It's like the trailer to your services. You have the ability to really shrink down what it is you do in a very specific way, which leads people into, oh, I want to learn more about this person. So like Instagram, you have to really scroll stop someone with a beautiful picture. With TikTok, it's 1 to 3 seconds to hook someone with very specific text, which is also why I think like CopyAI is awesome, because it can really help you like
get their attention.
Exactly. Get your
With
attention
that
and
text that you put over the top of the video.
yeah. I mean, you could think of something like the most specific characteristic of maybe your like client avatar or however you use your marketing, like really super where you're like, this is too specific. And those are the videos that go viral. Like, I had one that was, checking in on all of my oldest daughter turned mom who are working through generational trauma, like this super super specific niche thing, which was really just like a self descriptor, and that had like, I don't know, it had like 200,000 views, or it got a ton of engagement. So if you can take these really micro concepts for your business, so someone who's struggling to find copy that converts, somebody who is stuck in writer's block and they're just like sitting at their laptop, they're sitting at their computer, they're trying to figure it out, and then the solution comes in, because that's what you do, you support people with that. It's just finding these super super niche ways that you help people, and then you work out from there. Hey, grab this freebie that I have in my bio. If you want longer, I have a live series on my YouTube channel.
Do you actually pitch? So it sounds like I've never actually, I don't know if I've heard this term, micro coaching. So considering these like mini videos that you're putting out there as quick little lessons or takeaways that provide some value, but really elevate you as an authority or an expert. And I love the chocolate covered broccoli, because this is stuff that comes up all the time with your clients, or the work that you're doing on a regular basis, or maybe just feedback you're getting from your audience, or concerns or questions that they have. You could turn that into content really quickly. Then you put that out there in the most engaging way possible, which I think is another challenge that we'll talk about. Like, how do you actually, a lot of people struggle with like doing these selfies or dancing. So we'll get into that a little bit, but I think finding your own unique way of getting that value out there and sharing it. A lot of people just kind of show their screen. They take their phone and like show something on their screen that's interesting. So you don't have to have your face on camera all the time. And then the final part, you mentioned having a call to action. Is that something you do on most of your videos, or just every so often?
It's something that I do on more often than not. I'll say 9 times out of 10. I shouldn't say that I do it on every video. And it's not always leading into a sale or a paid thing. Sometimes it's like right now I'm in a season of really building my audience, because I am preparing for a launch in 2020, like in January. So right now things are leading into, download this. So I'm building my email list. So it's engage with me on Instagram or whatchamacallit, or download this freebie that I have.
Okay. So you're giving some value, just like, hey, here's how to get some more on this topic, kind of a deal.
Yeah. And I spend a lot of time in the comment section engaging with people who are commenting. Tell me more about why you related to this particular video. And I also think that's why I was able to grow not just my TikTok following so quickly, but my content so rapidly, is because I'm really engaging with the people. There's a lot of big content creators that will just like the comments that are in and like move on. But I save all this stuff, and this is my, like it says on here, like this is massive market research, is when people are being like, oh my gosh, and tagging their friends like, hey, well, what resonated with you about this? What else would you like to see? When I was really in that first month, like really, really building, what interested you about this? Not only does that give you ideas on resources you can create, but you can use the words that people are saying in the comments and then create a video about it. And they're like, how is this person talking directly to me? And then, sometimes it is about like filtering it then to refine it a little bit, so that it sounds like it's coming from me and not, but it's so micro niche.
That's genius. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the extra level of effort that I think very few people actually do or are
Hmm.
willing to do, but it doesn't take that much time. It's just actually being curious about your audience and finding those little common things that come up. If one person thinks this way, what you're finding is you're almost like getting into the brain of your audience. And now you find that one person thought this, maybe there's a bunch of other people out there that would relate to that as well. So
Yeah.
you're digging a little bit deeper under the surface.
Especially if you have a perspective on your community that not a lot of people are saying. If you have like a counterculture kind
Mm.
of perspective on maybe why you're not succeeding if you're a business coach, this is actually the reason behind why you're not seeing growth and why you're not succeeding. This is actually why, I've done a handful of videos on, this is why mindfulness isn't working for you. And those are the things where like, oh, I didn't think anyone else thought that. So if you have like an alternative perspective to what all of the big names in your industry are saying, start talking about those things. And then you could pull from the comment section things that people are saying and create a live video on that. You could create a long form Instagram post. You could create a free mini training or an entire course around that. Like, the genius is in the comment section and the live feedback you're getting with that interaction. I think too many people are just like, well, I want to be a content creator and I just want to go viral. But it's really, the magic is in creating that community.
So I'm one question on that. Are you ever going into other creators' uh, comment streams and looking at the comments in there as well as part of that research?
Yeah, absolutely. And what happens is when people start to see you as an authority in your area, you get tagged in videos where people are asking this question. So,
Mm.
like, because I do a lot of postpartum mental health content, there have been some really big name. Like, I was getting tagged in, like, celebrities were posting videos about postpartum depression, and I was getting tagged in that as someone to like respond to it or create a video. And so then you can actually create videos stitching with those um, creators that have larger audiences, and so it's like a win-win. But yeah, I'm also going in to see other. Um, what other people are asking, what other people are talking about, really like bad advice people are getting, and then making videos on that. Um,
So you can just like find stuff that maybe you're like, hey, maybe this is a better answer to that, or
yeah,
another alternative angle to like what people are saying, and kind of highlighting observations that you're having and using that as inspiration.
yeah.
So let's get into a couple of things here, and then we'll dive into Copy AI because I really want to get into the tech and see how we can create content pretty fast. But walk us through the micro niche content.
Yeah. So, and this is kind of what I was talking about in the
Hmm.
previous slide too, but like, think about these really super specific characteristics of your client. Like, you can even have one particular client in mind that you've walked them through something that you've supported them with. So, um, for me, the moms that I tend to attract to my business and who tend to work with me are first time moms later in life who had really successful careers and then became a mom, and they had a really huge identity shift because it was a big change. And so I speak to those very specific characteristics. Whereas people can just say, hey, if you're a first time mom, watch this. Hey, if you're a first time mom whose entire identity was wrapped up in your career and now you feel lost in motherhood, watch this. And like, that shifts things because you want people to self select into your content. You also want people to self select out. Like, I don't, um, So I'm trying to think of an example of someone who I would want to self-select out of my audience.
Like a
I mean,
college girl, like, I mean, it wouldn't make sense for her to consume it unless she's really interested in learning about this stuff.
exactly, because a lot of the things that I talk about are geared towards, first-time moms who are in their early 30s, early to
Mm.
mid 30s, and who are really struggling with that identity shift. So I speak to a lot of those very specific things. So people who I would want to self-select out, like if you're not a mom, then you're not going to get a ton out of my content.
I'm probably
Like,
not going to be tuning in too much myself. I can't really relate too much. Uh-oh. On that note, she's self-selected out. I'll see if she can jump back in. This is really, really good stuff, though. I think she fell off the stream. Here we go.
I don't know what just happened.
You
Sorry.
jumped off the call. You're like, I'm
See ya.
self-selecting out. What's the
I'm
word you used?
self-selecting out.
Let's get into anything else on the slide deck you want to talk about before we get into the tool here.
No, I think I talked a lot about, yeah, I mean, you really want to be, I will just quickly talk about the content pillars because I think that's helpful if you are in a place right now where you're like, I have an account, but I don't really know what to post on there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to work, if you're on other social platforms, all you have to do is distill down those like posts that have done really well for you on Instagram, blog posts, YouTube videos, whatever it is, distill it down to 2 or 3 main points and create some short form videos on that. And then lead people into that video. So it's not about thinking that you have to start from scratch. It's really about how can I repurpose the content that I already have to start my account. With content pillars, this is something I teach on, and this is something that since implementing in my own business, I've seen a real uptick in engagement, and a real uptick in engagement. I have 3 content pillars that are the main things, and it helps with launching too. This is like a little off topic, but it makes things easier when you're feeling like you're in a rut of content. And I need to be taking my own advice right now. It's like go back in and look at it.
Let's do
There
it.
are 3 things that you will see when you come to my content always. My 3 main content pillars are motherhood, identity work, and like speaking about integrity in the coaching industry. And so that's how I organize creating my content. So I have like a Google Sheets thing where I have it all, my content pillars kind of lined out, each one, and then ideas, just kind of like thoughts that pop into my head about something that I want to create. And this way, if I'm like, okay, I need to create some content, let me go into my content pillars. It creates a level of expertise, authority, and consistency with your content. So people know when they come to your page, they know exactly what they're going to get, not just like, well, one day they're talking about this thing. And like, you kind of know some of those accounts where like, well, one day this person is like a video editor, and the next day now they're like a coach for manifestation, and now they're like, I don't know, I'm just trying to think of like random things, and now they're doing this, and you never really know what you're gonna get from that
Stay
person.
on topic, like, and you can start with
Yeah.
just one thing that you're testing out to see how that resonates, see if you enjoy making that content, if people are engaging with it. If that's not clicking, you could try shifting a little bit. I think it's where you see people shifting around a lot with different types of content, but
Yeah.
you do have to experiment a little bit to find what really starts working for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So content pillars. So let's go ahead and I'm going to just kind of skim through anything else real fast. Video types here. I'm just going to try to get as much value from you as we can real
Yeah.
quick because you have a lot of really good
Thank
ideas
you.
here.
So here's some quick video ideas. So like I said, truth bomb is like adding in that kind of being a little polarizing. My brand voice is very bold, and I like to call things out. And so when it comes to things of like bad advice new moms are getting, or this is the reason why things aren't, when I'm focusing on marketing just like my content stuff, then it's like, this is why your content isn't landing, is because it's boring. And this is how you can make, like, think about some of those like polarizing topics in your industry that you can create like a quick video on to really help engagement. And it's
Cool.
something
Let's
that I
continue
think,
through. Sorry. We got to
oh
get
no,
into
yeah,
some tech stuff right now. But so any final like quick points before we dive into the software?
no, just get started. Just get started and have fun.
Your content pillars, there's yours.
Yeah.
These are good examples. These are good how to hook questions.
Mhm.
And you guys can come back and watch the replay later if you're liking this stuff. Comment section. Yep, this is a good summary here. Showcase your skills. Nice. Okay, so a couple tips on the consistency here. There's probably a lot to this. Where could they go if they want to learn more from you? Do you have this training or some more in-depth training somewhere on TikTok?
I have, I do, yes. I have a free guide to getting your next 1,000 followers. It's a very brief, like, I think it's 6 video modules that are like 10 minutes or less on just like, and then every video has an actionable step. So you watch it, you put that to play, and then you watch the next video. Um, so if you go to my TikTok, there's a link in there as well
Got it.
to get to
Okay.
that training.
Well, that makes sense. So if you go over and follow that Vibrant Mama on
Yeah.
TikTok, you'll see her beacons link here. And within that, you've got some additional training, that course on TikTok. Correct?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So if you're really loving this stuff, I mean, you clearly have a ton of insights that I feel like we
Thank
could. I mean, this is so valuable. So what we got to shift over to now is how do we bring some of that to life within Copy AI? Because you were mentioning recently you were kind of running into some writer's block, and in general, let's just talk through. Maybe you can just guide me through maybe your process. So like, what do you normally do when you get into Copy AI? How do you use it? And then any questions you have for me on what you could do next to get out of this writer's block.
Yeah, so CopyAI, I typically use it. I love to use it for like email headlines, like that catchy thing that will help, because I'm really trying to utilize my TikTok to grow my email list.
Okay.
So that is one that I utilize, and then sales for my sales page as well. So I'm a talker and I could be a little wordy in my content too. So it helps me really refine, like, can I say this in a more effective way instead of having like these super long sales pages with all of this text. Like, can I just kind of get to the point really? And I think now that Instagram is shifting a little, being a bit more to the point in captions too, because I don't think as many people are reading through these like really long form posts on Instagram as much. So I'm trying to be a little bit more concise.
So the Instagram captions. Perfect. Okay, so those are some of the common ones you go into. Do you ever sit down? We have some other tutorials that we've done recently. If you guys are interested in learning about email stuff, I did a whole training yesterday, which was pretty wild, going through like building your brand messaging into sales content. We did a whole training on making a sales page using these tools. So we've got a lot of great tutorials on that on the YouTube channel. But today, if we could, I think we could dive into specifically like coming up with content ideas for these TikToks. You've mentioned a lot of great, just simple ways to go do that. Go look at the comments, engage with your audience, like think of daily questions or comments that come up from clients. Those are really good ideas. But if you were to sit down using Copy AI, do you have any go-to like ways of generating content ideas here?
I haven't yet. I mean, I'll go into my content pillars and look at, sometimes it's just like a bullet point and like I'll put it in. But I haven't really sat down, and this is going to be very helpful for me because I haven't had a plan to like have Copy AI help me generate ideas for things.
Okay, well, let's try this out. So what I like to do is, first off, I want to create some context for the AI. So if you could tell me, like, in a very basic way, we've already gone through a little bit of your business. So what I want to do is get a foundation for the input so we can give the AI some context around your business and your target audience. So if you could, like, really briefly tell me about your business.
Sure.
I'm just
So
going to write it out.
yeah, I support working moms with, oh my gosh, why am I blanking on my statement right now?
Challenging you here. I could go
I'm
to your
pulling,
website and pull it up because you
I'm
do a
gonna
good
pull
job on your
up
website.
my Instagram.
You have a pretty
My
good
gosh.
on your website here. I saw this one. I could just pull that in if you
Thank
want.
you. Yes, that is my mission statement. Gosh.
Okay, so if you already have something written, you can do that. I was going to try to do it from scratch, but let's say you already have some kind of line like that. That's pretty basic. I think we could probably put that in and maybe come up with. Let's go to product descriptions. Maybe expand out on that. How do you do this? I guess would be the next question.
Oh, with I mean, I have a signature framework,
Okay.
and also, so I use somatic healing and evidence-based coaching practices.
Eh, that's probably good enough. We could see if it comes up with something. That might be enough just for the input. So I'm just gonna get some, like, I like to get a starting point before we try to create a lot of copy. I'm Christy Herring. All right, it's making up a name.
Okay.
Transformational coach, somatic healer. That kind of summed it up interestingly. Descriptions and needles, interesting.
Mhm.
Change their life using the power of their body and psyche. Interesting. So it's going into a lot of stuff. Maybe we don't need that much context. I could try the
Mhm.
audience refiner to see if it's getting it. I like using this to kind of see if we're guiding the AI in the right direction. So if we type this in, moms that want to live life, less stress, life of less, I can't read. They want to learn how to do this with the help of somatic healing. Does that sound pretty accurate?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go
Oh,
full
I haven't
screen
played
so we
around
can.
with this one at all. This is so helpful.
Audience refiner, pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
So if we pop that in there, I'm just creating content here that might be helpful to guide the AI when we are creating content. Have that handy. Let's see what else we got. So it's thinking, like, is it, you're not location based, it's like anywhere in the world, right?
Right.
Okay, so I can see here what I like to do is run my inputs through the audience refiner to see if I'm narrowing in or giving the AI enough context. It's trying to guess right now. So I notice when it says New York City, maybe I'll just say this. I help moms all over the world, right?
Yeah.
Moms all over the world through my virtual coaching and online programs.
Yes.
Now that's a line that I can help guide the AI because I'm seeing the AI is trying to figure it out, but clearly we want to give it more details. Chronic pain. Let's see. Does that make sense? I don't know if that's accurate or
No.
not.
Yeah.
Is this
No.
more accurate here? Heal from trauma, become more joyful.
Yeah.
That may be helpful.
That's definitely
Okay,
helpful.
this is probably accurate. She wants to feel grounded and peace while she's raising her children.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Pretty good, huh? So the AI is doing a pretty good job. So now we have a lot of good context here to help guide us through. Again, you were saying, like, understanding your audience better.
Yeah.
Well, the AI knows a lot about your audience, especially if we can narrow it in.
Yeah.
So what we could do now is, what would be fun to do next from that? I mean, this is a lot of stuff here. We could just try to run that through. Let's go to, I like the listicle blog title listicle. And this might be too much content. How much are we over? Quite a bit. Moms that live. So we could probably remove some of this. Almost. That's probably good enough right there, huh?
Yeah.
I think that summarizes it well. So if we run that through, we're telling it like about our product here, and it may help us come up with content ideas. 10 easy somatic practices, 4 essential tips for calm and centered parenting, 11 issues that make parenting a challenge, 8 traits of a godly mom. Interesting. Are these sounding pretty relevant?
Yeah. Maybe not the godly mom one.
A little weird, yeah. So
That
what we
was a
could do
little,
there is remove that because it's like, yeah, maybe not.
yeah.
And the other thing we could look at, so that's a fast way. Do you think that would be helpful if we had all you have to do every day is just like have that same input, and now you're giving the AI enough context to understand what type of content you want to create and who it's for, and a tool like this just gives you tons of ideas pretty quick.
Yeah. Now I'm like, this right here just busted out my writer's block. Oh,
There you go. How to
yeah.
set healthy boundaries, a new paradigm for parenting. Okay, that's pretty helpful. So, I mean, anytime you want, pop in here. The key here, what we just did is getting that input to be hyper relevant. So it's not just coming up with like, I don't know, are you helping biker moms in Los Angeles, or are you
Yeah.
helping spiritual moms in New York, or like now you're saying I help moms all over the world who have these kind of
Yeah.
problems, who are looking for this type of information and guidance and support. And by using that audience refiner tool, we can narrow in more specifically as to who you want to help. So that can be a great, we'll say your input. You could tweak this over time too if you want to get more clear. Maybe there's like certain things you want to tweak or change if it's kind of, if you're noticing that some of the outputs are a little bit off.
Mhm.
But I like starting there to give you that starting point, and that could be the same thing every day. Really
Yeah.
easy. So now that we have a process here, we could use the listicle concept. We could do blog ideas is another one. Now this is doing it for like larger pieces of content, but the same process can be applied to micro content. Blog that moms could find joy in motherhood. 10 things every mom needs to know about their own body. Feel better as a mom, one breath at a time.
Whoa.
Just random. How will I know my child is ready for school? Where's your peace? Love running tools of various methods, find peace. So it's kind of all over the place here. I mean, maybe some of this is useful. Why stop wearing makeup? That's interesting. Wow, interesting. I mean, yeah, a lot of angles there. Maybe that's not relevant to what you teach. So you can start to train it a little bit over time as you're getting these inputs.
So if you remove, sorry.
Yep.
When you remove those, like those ideas, like I'll say I remove that one, that will tell it like for future reference, like to.
That wasn't helpful. Yeah, it's
right.
training
Okay.
it.
Gotcha. So
And
it'll
this is
remember that. That's what I was.
Yeah, and that's the idea.
Yeah.
So where CopyAI is going, what the team is working on right now, is getting the AI to learn more and more about your business. Okay. So eventually you won't have to go through this process as much. It's already going to know what you do, the products and services you provide, like who you help, how you help them. For now, we have to do a little bit of the heavy lifting to inform the AI, but over time, and actually this week they're rolling out with some new features that are actually going to read your website for you and like pull in all that context. So it's going to really get better and better. Like in a few months from now, it might just know about your business already. You just click a button and it just gives you a bunch of really fine-tuned, relevant ideas.
That's so helpful because I have been very much underutilizing these features.
Yeah, and that's fair enough because it is very early in the game. So the fact that you've already been using it for sales pages and emails is good, and you're still ahead of the curve here. So we're trying to educate everyone else at the same time on what they could be doing here. The blog title, I mean, maybe even blog titles could work. Blog outlines. Let's run through a few more tools. I'm just going to give you a list of things that you can try. I want to just see here if blog title might help. 5 steps to start enjoying motherhood.
Yeah, I mean, those would be great TikTok videos. Like 5 steps to start enjoying motherhood.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a great one for my audience.
I mean, these are kind of like you said, getting in their mind, huh?
Yeah. And that's like a little of like what I was like the polarizing. Like not a lot of moms want to admit that that's like what they're thinking and feeling.
It's giving you an idea of like a program name, A Gentle Awakening
Right?
Intro.
Yeah.
Peach yogurt soothing to face mask.
That
would be a visually interesting.
Yeah, that one might get flagged by TikTok.
Let's see, peach blog title, blog ideas. So the tools that we could use here, running that same input. So it's really easy now. We're just clicking buttons. Let's try like a blog outline. It might dig in a little bit deeper into, and I might remove some returns. So I've noticed like sometimes if you have too many hard returns, it gets a little confused. It thinks it's like a bullet point list or something. So if we just have a solid paragraph in there, I'll just go ahead and change this. We have a solid paragraph, very vivid details of what you do. And all you have to do is just keep running that through different tools. So blog outline, the idea here is to have some content ideas for like a long form content and then a takeaway. But these may pull out some interesting angles for you. Very little sleep, feeling completely overwhelmed and exhausted. That's very powerful.
Yeah.
Caring for yourself is actually caring for your family. Like that's a powerful line.
Yeah.
What to do with overwhelm. So let's see. It's just interesting, like different structure. It's kind of losing format here. Look at it, just makes up stuff. I mean, interesting. Let's see.
That is a client that I've worked with, though. That's funny.
Did it?
Yeah.
What? That's insane. I mean, this is like you said, super nuanced stuff that maybe you would know, but the AI actually understands the stuff pretty well.
Yep.
So hobbies you can do with your kids, exercise, get support from other moms on online forums. These are great tips here.
Yeah.
You can enjoy and appreciate your time with your children by getting outside help and support. Powerful content ideas.
Yeah.
So you can just scroll through this, save these for later, have those in your save section. So what I might do is call this create a project here. Like content ideas. So I might go in here, create a project, call it content ideas. And all you have to do then is every day come into your content ideas project, open that up and make sure you have, I would just save using this editor on the right. You can close or open this. I would have that input saved, probably put that right up at the top.
What?
So have that up here. And now you can just make sure that it's probably going to be saved anyway. So if we go to create copy, it's already pasted in there for you. But if you ever need to grab it again, go there. And now have your list of tools that you can run it through. So we just went through a couple more. So let's continue going through a couple other ideas. We did the blog outline. And you'll find the ones that work best for you.
Yeah. This is so helpful.
Why we're doing it. Let's see. Blog intro. I mean, it'll start writing who knows? If you just wanted to write random thoughts for you, you can tell the blog is about this. It's super broad. That's like your whole business anyways, right?
Yeah.
And if you just wanted to start writing like random ideas, my path started when I was petrified of raising my child by myself. If you're a mom who's experienced a lot of day-to-day stress, anxiety, like, I don't know, if you just need ideas, pretty good. Even the YouTube description intro, this is very like video sounding for YouTube. Have you tried that one before?
No, but this helps because I have a very dormant YouTube channel.
Let's see. Explores the difference between guilt-free motherhood and expectation society. Wow, interesting.
Oh, that's a good one.
I mean, I would sit down in the morning with a cup of coffee and just go and save a bunch of these. And then when you are
Yeah.
ready to start creating content, just go into that saved content feed and boom, pull them out. Or, you can move the stuff over into like a project management tool or something once you get it all dialed in here.
Yeah.
So it's making stuff up. If you notice it's saying like I'm a mom of 3 daughters, maybe you could work on
Yeah.
your input here to give it some more like
Yeah.
I am a
I
mom of
am
like
not.
whatever, like so you can tell
Yeah.
it like try to get this, if you start to notice it's not quite there, just tweak that input. But you really, once you get it dialed in, you won't have to change that too much. Another one that's fun is the carousel post. This is more for like Instagram. And so the topic, we're giving it a lot here, and let's see if it can handle it. It's going to give you hooks, content
Yeah.
ideas, and then a call to action.
I love a carousel post, and they do really well.
I mean, these are great for reels, TikTok videos. You can imagine the hook
Yeah.
gets our attention, couple, key takeaways, and then the call to action. Take my mom challenge. These are good. Let's see how moms who are feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. They want to feel, so that's kind of a bio thing. It's thinking that you're like writing a bio here, which makes kind of, I mean, if you had something more specific that you wanted to talk about, you could tweak that input, of course. Yeah. So this is shifting into more of like trying to sell yourself and your coaching services.
Yeah.
So would be something to tweak slightly for each piece of content, but all you have to do is go through and find some of those headlines, like we did that listicle. This is pretty good. Let's just say that was it. And maybe you want to simplify and change that from 10 to 3. And then you could run that through the carousel.
Okay. Oh, these are so good.
And then boom, now we could see if it can just, again, we went boom, boom. Maybe there's some ideas that'll stretch it out, breathe,
Yeah.
talk to a therapist, do more. This is interesting. Yoga walking, do less, focus on the do new. What? Like, I mean, try new
Yeah.
things. Like, that'd be fun. That's a cool 3. Do yoga or pray, eat healthier, get more sunlight. Great little tips. So how is that for a workflow?
I didn't even realize you could do a workflow. This is so helpful because then I could also take like the content pillars and the ideas that I already have saved and create new workflows for each of those.
Mm-hmm.
And so then that also sets things up for launches, and gosh, this is so helpful.
Sweet. That's the process we're in with CopyAI. The team is working really hard to try to make this more obvious to you. But again, we're still experimenting behind the scenes. The AI is doing its work. Like they're also optimizing the outputs that we're getting. So we're seeing really, really interesting outputs that are, I think as I'm scrolling through, to me, it looks like most of these are pretty relevant and could be useful.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, so that's another tool. I think we'll wrap it up with that. I mean, that's, unless there's anything else that you've tried that you want to share. I mean, even running this through like sales page copy, you could take that same input that we wrote over here. If you wanted to make your bio, or let's run it through like the pain agitate solution. If you wanted to come up with pain points,
Yeah.
this is another way to make content really quick, is just identify those pain points.
Yeah, this is one that I use often, like that feature.
She wants to feel grounded and at peace.
Mm.
She wants to start enjoying her kids, time she has with them. So this is kind of like,
Oh, that's perfect.
yeah, you might just find little pieces that inspire you for a new content idea.
Oh, that is perfect. That just gave me so many ideas.
No more writer's block.
No, now I'm like, know what I'm doing in nap time today.
Sweet. All right, we'll wrap it up today. Let's see if there's any comments, questions. Yeah, thanks, Steph. I'm a talker. I have the same problem as you. I can go all day just rambling on and on. Let's see here. I've been having a few problems with the editor, but it was so any updates on that? I know the team is working hard on so there's some little bugs with the editor, like it's the hard returns or things are a little off, but the team is rolling out some updates this week for sure. I don't know if that will be included in that update, but there's a lot of cool stuff happening behind the scenes. So within the next week or two, you'll definitely notice some updates to the editor. And there's the new supercharge feature coming out, which will pull information from your website and help you speed up the process of getting a really good input for the AI. And yeah, any other feedback you guys have, let us know. So cool. New ideas from New Ideas. Exactly. Oh, great. Thanks for sharing and recommending. Hopefully this process today was helpful. You can see how you can just refine your audience, run it through some of these tools to give you content ideas, and then you could expand on that using carousel or dive further into pain points, because content alone can just come from identifying a pain point, and then you as the expert, you know how to like take it to the next, you know how to, where to go from there. But just creating content around core pain points or concerns or fears that people have is really good. Or you could spin it into the benefits if you want to be more positive focused and focus on like really big takeaways. Again, this is really good for sales page copy, but I can see how you could use it on micro copy as well, where you're going into like, you want more peace of mind. You could look at just the key benefits, like experience more joy, gratitude in all areas of your life, have a beautiful mind and body, experience guilt-free, joyful motherhood. You know, these are really powerful lines that you could, with that, I mean, there's two angles there. I think last thought here for you, a question for you, Carly, is you mentioned hooking them in within 3 seconds. Have you tried like focusing more on pain points or positive things? Have you noticed a difference between the two?
Yeah, so I have focused on them self-identifying more with pain points in a way that's not like, this is what you're doing wrong, but like, are you a mom that experiences anger in motherhood? That's a lot of what I talk about. So sometimes I'll blend the two, like, so I'm just thinking of an idea. I have noticed more with the pain points, but I think maybe because my audience tends to be a little bit more cynical. So if I started off with like, you want to experience joyful, guilt-free motherhood, and they'd be like, yeah, well, how's that possible? So,
Tried this
yeah,
one here. I'm just letting you riff. So sorry, I'm just playing around.
Oh, yeah. No, I think those ideas could be really good. Like the benefits part could be a really good way to like hook someone in of like, you want to experience these things, but this is what you're feeling like right now. If you want to lead with a more like benefit heavy hook, like you want to experience guilt-free motherhood, but you don't think it's possible for you, and that would like hook. I think that's one that I've actually used before.
This attention one, the attention, interest, desire, action, is worth trying just to see if it can pull up like attention grabbing.
Oh yeah.
Not quite nailing it here. Let's see. She wants to think beyond. She wants to raise her children in a calm and center place. Yeah, it's not quite getting like, I don't know, like what you were describing there. I was curious if it would come up with something like that.
I had one that was like a trick hook that was like 3 ways to be a more productive mom, and so that, and this one like was the one that really went viral. And then like because it was the way the sound was like really energetic, and then after a few seconds it switches to like calmer music. And then I was like, you don't have to be more productive. Like you can actually just relax and have a whatever it was. But so that was like, you could do stuff like that. A trick. A trick hook.
It's all about experimenting. And yeah, I think you could try the pain point angles, which it does get people's attention because it's highlighting that you understand their problem and they want to solve that. But then I do agree that shifting towards like painting a more positive picture, like this comment says, moving
Yeah.
them out of that. And that's where the urgency comes in. Like, yeah, I'm done feeling this way, or I wish there was a way that I could feel this way all the time, you know? So like helping them, guiding them back into a better vision of their life.
Yeah. No, I love that
Awesome.
you paint what's possible. I do that a lot in Instagram and like the big picture things. With TikTok, it's more like the pressing quick things and then leading them into, okay, if you don't want to feel that way anymore, here's this meditation that I have.
Perfect. So it's kind of micro storytelling where you're like, it's this like,
Exactly.
like, oh, is there a way to solve this? Boom, I have the answer for you. Here
Yeah,
it is. Amazing.
exactly.
Well, thank you for your time. This was so helpful. This was a lot of fun picking your brain on TikTok marketing. You had a really good insights for us. And then it was fun to talk to you about Copy AI and ways that you can use it to get out of writer's block, come up with tons of content really fast, and then get your message out there. And that's really what's important. If you're not actually
Mhm.
putting it out there to the world, then it's just sitting there doing nothing for you. And you've shown that there's a lot of potential if we do take action and we start to put content out there. You were able to grow 60,000 followers in less than a year without
Yeah.
that much work, and it's all free marketing.
Yeah. It's free and it's fun. And they're adding new features all the time to push your account out. So the more you can play around and practice and be ahead of these things, like the better. So just make content and have this should be fun. It's a fun medium to get your work out there. So I had so much fun talking about this today.
Sweet. Well, let's stay in touch, and it'll be fun to see what you come up with next. We'll follow you, and I expect a lot more content coming from you now.
Yeah, now I have so many ideas now. Thank you.
Awesome, Carly. I'll let you go, and then I'm going to do a quick wrap up here. So talk to you later, Carly. Thanks so much again.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye. All right. That was so much fun. Let me just wrap up here. Just a quick summary. It's really never been easier to create content. All you have to do is tell Copy AI a little bit about your business. You saw us do it today. And in just seconds, it's going to write original copy for you, which means it's not plagiarized. It's not just grabbing it from Google. It's writing it from scratch. And this is revolutionary stuff here. This is brand new technology, and I really encourage you to try it out. You saw the power of it today. It can get you out of writer's block really fast and help you either sell your stuff or just come up with creative angles to help you get your content out there without waiting for inspiration to come. Click the button and inspiration will fly at your face on the screen in just a few seconds. It's insane. We've got customers all around the world in all different industries. You can work for any type of business. You can even make up a business and it will sell it. It'll write copy for you. It'll come up with marketing angles for you. So if you have your own business, try it out. If you want to just make up something from scratch, it works for that as well. You can write copy in seconds with Copy AI. It's totally unlimited. You can get your free trial and try it out now, and then upgrade to get the premium version of the AI. So it'll give you even better results. For a flat monthly fee, you get unlimited copy. So try it out today. Free 7-day trial. Put in some basic information, and you'll see unique original copy generated for you in seconds. All right, this was a lot of fun. Thanks for those of you who joined live, and we will talk to you again soon. All right, take care.